Yeah, you lose a guy like Z. It's just, we've talked. You can't replace a guy like that, but it's got to be by committee. I just loved how we competed right from opening shift, and we went through a lot tonight. A lot of little different things, some adversity, some penalties, and some frustration on maybe some calls we didn't get. But I thought they kept their poise. I thought the penalty kill did an excellent job stuffing them tonight, and that was a total team effort. Thought Jeff was outstanding again in net for us. He looked solid and poised and calm. Nice to get a win. Obviously, this team is been a handful for us, as we know the first two times. So to come in here and keep this thing rolling, it was great.
You're playing better, obviously, now than you were the previous times you played Florida. But is it just that compete level that allowed this game to be different for you tonight?
Yeah, and not just tonight. I think that's been coming for weeks now. I think it's been obviously a focus for us on the competitiveness and what that has to look like, and being more physical at the puck. And we've really ramped that up, and and it's got to be from everybody. It can't just be from a couple guys. I know Curls is going to get his hits. I know Boone's going to finish his checks. It's just finishing when it's available. It's not chasing it. It's not, if the physical play's there, take it, and then hard on our pucks. I thought the Toronto game was another good example of that. Second period, we got away from it. I thought they were better than us at the puck, and we got better in the third.
Their first goal, they were all over your zone, just like kind of the first two games, making plays. Then they score. Could have easily, maybe in some of your guys' mind, thought, here we go again.
Yep.
But they didn't. How impressed are you that didn't happen? Like, they scored a tying goal, right after that, and then you guys just kind of took it.
Yeah, we just played, and we didn't let anything rattle us tonight. That to me, that was the difference. I think, obviously, having a stretch like this of getting some wins in different ways. We've played with a lead. We've come from behind. In that last trip, we did it twice in a row in Buffalo and Montreal and Washington. That was, and so that Washington was a really good game for us. The beginning coming out of that break, because I felt like they pushed hard physically, and we stood in there. And I think it gave our guys a little bit of just some confidence that we can stand up for ourselves. It's not about fighting. It's not about being silly. It's just go and stand your ground. And I think that was a real important game for us when I look back coming out of the break, just how we played that. How, you have a guy like Wilson and that group coming at you. They're heavy guys. So that, I think that it was a little bit of a springboard for us as far as understanding that we're going to be okay. And we can stand in there against some of these bigger, heavier teams. And tonight we were aggressive. Tonight I liked how we played, and it was, this is something that we got to continue to do. It can't just be one and done. And I think we're getting there. I think we're understanding that it's important and it's worth it.
That's what I was going to ask next. Is that this is not just 2 or 3 games. This has been 10, 11 games now.
Mm-hmm.
That was an important thing for you guys to kind of get fixed before the end of the season. You still got a lot of hockey left.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's got to be part of our identity and DNA. It just has to be, and again, it's just doing it the right way. It's not chasing it. You can't chase it, but you got to invest in it. I think it's important, and it slows other teams down. And honestly, I think it attaches us emotionally to these games. I think it really helps our group to. You can feel it on the bench when they're doing it. You can, they're patting each other on the back, and they're excited when guys are doing the things that they're supposed to physically.
Do you have any update on Sillinger and how he's doing?
Yeah, that was a pretty solid hit. He came back. He says he's going to be good to go tomorrow. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, but I think he's fine.
Do you have any problem with that?
No, I don't. I think initially I thought it was high. And I'll say this, I got to be careful because I think as a young guy for Silly, and you got to understand it's a 6-3 game, and that guy's tracking the puck, and you open yourself up because it could happen in playoffs. And down the road, it's a clean hit. You could call it charging or whatever. I think he's tracking the puck, and he's going to hit. You're down 3 goals at home. He did what he's supposed to do. It's unfortunate because Silly took a pretty good lick there, but I think it's a good teaching lesson for him too. And all our guys, you keep your head up and be ready for something like that because it's getting that time of year. We're the 3rd time we've played them. There's a little bit more fire in these games. There's a little bit of history. It's so And then, you know, if you're fortunate enough to ever get to playoffs, that ramps up even more. You know, so you know, I hope he's okay, obviously, first and foremost, because you know what I think of him. But I think it's also a really good teaching point.
You'd flip 96 and 34 for your game. Did you see that?
I thought Silly had a rough couple of shifts. I really did. He had 3 or 4 turnovers, I think, in 2 or 3 shifts, and I think Jack had been playing better. You know, it was kind of in the back of my mind anyway if there was an opportunity, and I took it, and I think it helped both of them. I think Silly played really well with Gonser and Danny. Those guys have had great energy, and I thought Roscoe did a good job with the other two. So, yeah, it was something in the back of my mind just to see, and then when I saw it early, I just wanted to make that switch, that's all.
With Z out, Gavrikov got a letter tonight. I probably want a guy back there that has something on his sweater, but at the same time, does that speak to just kind of what he means to that group right now?
Yeah, I think he's earned that letter. I talked to him not too long ago about what he means to our team and how I think what he brings every day. He goes about his business. He's very professional. He comes in the ring with a smile. He's very consistent in how he plays. You know, we love him for what he does. He's a competitor, a real good competitor, and I think he's grown. He's grown on me. He's got a really neat personality, and it was an opportunity, I think, to just reward him and show him, you know, what we think. And I think he's taking that step. I think he's worked himself into that leadership group for me of how he plays, how he presents himself, and how he helps our team.
Is that why you kind of wanted to maybe move him up to the top pairing rather than maybe keeping him both together?
I asked Mac about the pairings and what he wants to do, and we talked about that. And you know, we're thin there right now, just when you lose some guys, but. I thought that back end worked their tails off tonight. I thought they competed really hard. It was a good game for them.
Carlson hadn't played in a while, but he played pretty solid.
It's a tough game to come in when you haven't played in a while. It's been weeks for him. So I'll say this about him, though. I know Max put a lot of work with him. I know Kenny has, and the individual has too. He's gave it practice. He's worked really hard. And to come into a game like this with the pace of it, that's a big body team. We know how good they are. They're near the top of the league for a reason. So, you know, you're a little nervous about what that's going to look like. Practice is one thing, but coming into game time, and I thought he held his own. He did an excellent job tonight.